Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. So we are gonna be cleaning up and polishing the heads here, and then we are going to be putting in new valves and valve springs and valve guides. Rudy Groot, our trusty four-wheeler, ended up blowing a piston ring and we were not getting compression, so I am going to be rebuilding the engine. So while we're waiting for the rest of the parts to come in, I'm going to get started in on this. So first off, I'm going to get all this carbon buildup. The head gasket, I think. Well, the piston ring was letting oil up in there, so that's why there's all the carbon. And literally oil in the piston, or was in the piston. So we're going to get this all cleaned up, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like when it's all shiny. First thing we're going to use is a wire wheel on there, and then I'm going to use some different, there's like a felt tip that goes on the drill, and we'll be using some different lapping compound and rubbing stuff to polish the aluminum, and then we'll lap the new valves and we'll get that done. All right, everybody, we are back. So I got the initial bit of the carbon off. So next I'm going to kind of polish up just this lip here and a little bit around it on each side, and then where the spark plug goes. And then after that, we'll be removing the old valves and we'll put in the new ones and we'll lap them. I'll show you how we do that. Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. So I've got the head all cleaned up now. Got it nice and shiny. So I did a little bit of sanding and kind of got the rough bits of the casting around here down. Nice and smooth and shiny. So next what we're going to do is remove the old valves here and put in new valves and valve springs. So we're going to have to remove the old ones and then lap in the new ones. So for this we're going to use our trusty valve spring remover here. So one goes in each side. One goes on the valve, and then on the other side it goes onto the spring, and then it just pushes it down and you take off. There's a little clip right there that's in two pieces that'll come off, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna get those out and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So I have the valve springs and the valve retainers and cap off. So I've taken all the valves out. As you can see, it's pretty dirty because the piston rings blew, or they were wearing through. So I'm going to get all that oil out of there, and we'll go from there. And we'll also be replacing these, the guides for the piston, or the valves. So I'm going to get this cleaned up, and then we'll get the new valves and we'll lap them in there. So I'm going to get started with that and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So I got that all cleaned up. Here's the old valve here. Some of the metal's starting to wear away. And there's some of it there hanging off on the side. See if I can. There you can see it. Oh, you should never focus when you want it to. If you see that little thing hanging kind of by the red handle there of the needle nose pliers, there it is. That's part of the valve because it was coming apart. So I've got some new valves, so I'm going to put them in, and then we have lapping compound, and you put it in and you kind of rock it back and forth, and they'll be lapped and set to the seats in here. And then we'll put the springs back on, well, new springs on, and clips and retainers, and we'll go from there. So I'll come back once I get the new valves out here, and I'll show you kind of how the lapping process works. Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. So we are back. We're going to be doing the valve lapping with the new valves. So for that, what we do is we put the new valve in and you put some lapping compound underneath it and you set it in. Then there's a tool that we set on here and we go back and forth and you'll kind of hear it when it's going. It'll make a kind of grinding sound and it'll get real smooth. So once I get them all in, or get one of them in there, I'll show you what we're gonna do. Alright, I'm back. So I'm getting to the last valve here to lap it. So what I have is this, and it's a little suction cup that you put on the valve. And then I have a drill attachment that you can just hook up your drill to. And you go a little bit each way, and you're good to go. And then how you'll know if it's done is you'll look at your valve and you'll see where it's cut, and then you're good to go. So next I'm going to take the valve stem seals off and put in the new ones, get everything cleaned up, put on the new valve springs, and we'll be good to go with that. Alright, so these are the valve stem seals. All you gotta do is use the pliers and kind of go back and forth a few times. And they pop right off. So we're gonna get those out and put in new ones. I'm gonna get this all cleaned up. And after I get that cleaned up, we will put in the new springs and I'll get that all together. And I'll be back. Alright, I am back. So we have the new valves in and the new valve springs and the new valve retainers. So everything's going good on the head so far. I'm going to put all these clips together and I'll make this like a part 3 or whatever, because I think part 1 would be looking at the four-wheeler and it broke. Part 2 would be kind of the beginning of getting it ready, and this will be part 3 doing the valves. Next, I'm going to get on the air intake, or the intake from the carburetor here, and then we'll do the exhaust manifold over there. And then once that's all together, I'll be good to go there. And we can start to head on over here and get into the cylinder and all that. So that'll be next.